Welcome, everyone. Today we're doing a mock draft of the entire first round of the 2019 NFL Draft. These projections are based on perceived team need, value of the player, and overall fit. Without further delay, let's get into the draft. With the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, I project the Arizona Cardinals to select Quinnen Williams, the defensive lineman out of Alabama. While many have projected Kyler Murray to be this pick, Quinnen is suitable because he can play D-end in their base 3-4 scheme while having the versatility to play inside and nickel. Nick Bosa would be tempting here, but Williams also feels a need while proving to be the safer pick. Williams will add an inside rusher to the mix of Jones and Suggs. With the second pick in the 2019 draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Nick Bosa, the defensive end out of Ohio State. Some may cringe at spending another top 10 pick on the defensive line, but with such a pass-happy league, the necessity for pass rushers forces the team to dip into the pass rush pool again. Fortunately, they are able to land one of the better pass rushing prospects to enter the league in the past few years. Providing the injury bug is behind him, this could be an all-pro selection. The third pick belongs to the New York Jets. I believe the Jets would like to trade out of this pick to recuperate some of the picks they gave up to move up and select Darnold last year. However, because trades aren't projected in this mock, I have them selecting Josh Allen, the defensive end outside linebacker from Kentucky. Allen blew up the SEC in sacks, racking up 17 in his senior season and 7 in each of the 2 seasons prior. Allen shows the athleticism and power to be a difference maker on the edge for a team who looks to reinvent themselves under a new coaching staff. With the fourth pick in the 2019 draft, the Oakland Raiders select Montez Sweat, the defensive end out of Mississippi State. Sweat wowed everyone at the Combine with his athleticism, and that skill shows on tape. Oakland has many needs but addresses their biggest one with their first pick of 3 in the first round. While it's unrealistic to hold anyone to the standard that was set by Khalil Mack, Sweat could help fill the void and provide disruption behind the line. Ed Oliver may have been tempting, but the production of Hall and Hurst as rookies last year allowed the team to focus on finding their next edge rusher. With the fifth pick in the 2019 draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Ed Oliver, the defensive lineman out of Houston. Oliver was a force in college and widely regarded as the best interior player in the class before Williams had a breakout year. Offensive tackle, corner, and linebacker would all fill a need, but the value of Oliver at 5 is just too much to pass up. Aaron Donald showed how successful a player can be at the size playing and in a 3-4, which Tampa is switching to under new defensive coordinator Todd Bowles. With the sixth pick in the draft, the New York Giants select Clelin Ferrell, the defensive end out of Clemson. Ferrell has been extremely productive during his time at Clemson, and the national title game proved he's worthy of being a top 10 selection. Corner could be selected here, but with the premium on pass rushers and Vernon being traded in the offseason, all signs point to the New York needing a boost on the edge. With the seventh pick in the 2019 draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Jonah Williams, the offensive lineman out of Alabama. Williams shows fluid motion and anchored the line for one of the best teams in college football. Williams can play either tackle or guard at the next level and would be a solid addition to almost any line in the NFL. With the top pass rushers off the board, the Jaguars land a solid, albeit not sexy, prospect. With the eighth pick in the draft, the Detroit Lions select Cody Ford, the offensive line prospect from Oklahoma. While only being a one-year starter in college, Ford showed the power and mentality that teams love to see. He played aggressive and with awesome power. The Lions may be upset to get their first choice poached just before their picks. Bengals fans call it karma, but will end up being very happy with Ford, who could step in for the recently retired Lang. With the ninth pick in the 2019 draft, the Buffalo Bills select Christian Wilkins, the defensive tackle out of Clemson. Wilkins is a disruptor along the interior of the line and could help fill the void left by Kyle Williams' retirement. Tight end or receiver is possible at this pick, and TJ Hawkinson may very well land in Buffalo, but the depth at the tight end position and the run-on defensive lineman has the Bills making the smart choice. The 10th pick belongs to the Denver Broncos, and I have them selecting TJ Hawkinson, the tight end out of Iowa. Quarterback and linebacker will both be tempting here, but tight end has been a need for Denver for many years. Hawkinson has proven to be efficient as a receiver and a blocker. Denver sticks to their board and lands the best prospect available in Hawkinson. The Cincinnati Bengals hold the 11th selection in the draft and pick Devin White, the linebacker from LSU. He's relatively new to the position, and his experience as a running back should give him adequate knowledge of what the offense is trying to do. White is better at the pass than he is against the run, but his upside is enough for the Bengals to select White as the anchor of their defense for the next decade. The Green Bay Packers are the next team on the clock at pick 12. They double-dipped at corner last year, and the move seemed to have paid off. They also were aggressive in free agency and added the Smiths to the defensive line to help out Mike Daniels. The rich get richer as the Packers select Brian Burns, the outside linebacker from Florida State. A lot of people might be calling for Devin Bush, but Blake Martinez played well, and Oren Burks should be given an opportunity to show his rookie year was a fluke. Burns will add speed to the pass rush and will be given the chance to develop in a rotational role. With the 13th pick in the 2019 draft, the Miami Dolphins select Dwayne Haskins, the quarterback out of Ohio State. Miami is ecstatic to land a franchise quarterback without having to make a trade. Haskins boasts 70% completed passes with 50 touchdowns and only 8 interceptions in 1 year starting. Offensive line and pass rusher are possible at this pick, but unless Flores is willing to tank this year, this team needs a quarterback. Fitzpatrick fills the role of mentor for another young signal caller. The Atlanta Falcons own the 14th pick in the 2019 draft and used the pick to select Jawan Taylor, the offensive tackle from Florida. Atlanta made it clear offensive line was going to be a priority heading into the offseason. The team would be very happy to land Taylor to take over as their franchise right tackle. Taylor likes to play rough, and that would be perfect for addition to an offensive line that saw its franchise quarterback get sacked 42 times last year. With the 15th pick in the 2019 draft, Washington selects Kyler Murray, the quarterback out of Oklahoma. Washington has gotten lucky adding top-tier players to their defensive line while staying put in the past couple years, and this year happens to land a very talented quarterback. People will highlight what he does as a scrambler, but he's a passer first. Murray completed 69% of his passes and had 42 touchdowns to only 7 picks. Gruden may finally have his guy. The 16th pick in the draft belongs to the Carolina Panthers. They sprint to the podium to select the center from NC State, Garrett Bradbury. Big guys don't normally move like Bradbury, and his ability to get out in front is a major chess piece for a team that has athleticism in the backfield. His physical play style is exactly what the Panthers need to set the tone for their line, and he is known as a leader in the locker room. The New York Giants acquired the 17th selection in the draft when they sent OBJ to Cleveland. The Giants choose to fill another need by selecting DeAndre Baker, the corner from Georgia. This could be any one of the top corners, and there is no consensus as to who the top corner is. But Baker has 4 years of experience in the SEC with 7 career picks and 23 career passes to defend. The 18th selection belongs to the Minnesota Vikings, who have the luxury of not needing to fill any glaring hole except on the offensive line. They used their selection on Greg Little, the offensive tackle from Ole Miss. Little looks every bit the part of a top 10 pick, but an obvious lack of effort in some games has teams questioning his motivation. The Vikings roll the dice on a boomer bust prospect that has the opportunity to be one of the best prospects in this draft. Mike Zimmer is a hard ass, but his team loves him. Look for him to get the most out of the talented young lineman. The Tennessee Titans hold the 19th selection in the 2019 draft and use it to select the Michigan defensive lineman Rashawn Gary. Gary slide end as he hopes to bolster the defensive front that features Jarrell Casey and the newly signed Cameron Wake. The team spent 3 of their first 4 picks on defense in 2018 and look to solidify the unit with Gary, who can play inside or outside. Teams will question his production as his 2019 seemed to be a step back. Gary will be out to prove his doubters wrong. With the 20th selection in the NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Greedy Williams, the corner from LSU. The Steelers couldn't be happier adding Williams, who should look to take over for the previous first-round selection, Artie Burns. Devin Bush could very well end up in Pittsburgh, but the team needs to add someone across from Joe Hayden. Williams fits the mold of today's bigger cornerbacks while offering ball skills that resulted in 8 interceptions and 19 passes defended in only 2 years starting at LSU. With the 21st selection in the draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Clemson defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence. Seattle was 3rd worst in yards per rush on the defensive side of the ball. In a division that features Todd Gurley, David Johnson, and the stable of backs in San Francisco, the Seahawks make the smart play and grab the impressive lineman. Lawrence is a massive human with the strength to match and a scary sprinkle of athleticism. He would complement the defense nicely and make life easier for Wright and Wagner. With the 22nd pick in the draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Devin Bush, the linebacker from Michigan. Baltimore lost big when C.J. Mosley dipped to New York, and Bush looks to help fill that void. While not as talented as Mosley, Bush has the athleticism to shine in a defense that will allow him to run free behind a stacked defensive line. The Houston Texans hold the 23rd pick in the draft and waste no time selecting Andre Dillard, the offensive tackle from Washington State. Keeping Watson clean has to be a priority for a team that saw him get absolutely ravaged last year. Dillard steps in as a day one starter on the left side of the line and is the most polished pass blocker in this class. For a team that likes to play from the gun, Dillard's experience in Leach's system would transition nicely to what Houston likes to do. With the 24th pick in the draft, the Oakland Raiders used the pick acquired from the Bears in the Khalil Mack trade to select Rock Ya-Sin, the cornerback from Temple. The Raiders need secondary help, and even though Ya-Sin only has 1 year of experience at the FBS level, he showed enough for a team to feel confident his skill will translate to the next level. He's 6'2" with 2 picks and 12 passes defended in his lone year at Temple. The Philadelphia Eagles are seated at 25 and use their selection on DK Metcalf, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. Metcalf wowed the world with his amazing speed at the combine, but left more questions than answers about his route running with a very poor 3-cone drill. The Eagles very well could take Josh Jacobs at this pick, but the trade for Jordan Howard makes it less likely. This pick could be the bust of the draft, but the upside and need to bolster weapons in spite of the return of Deshaun Jackson makes the value too high to pass up. The Indianapolis Colts hold the 26th pick and use it to select the defensive end out of Boston College, Zach Allen. Allen plays both run and pass well and totaled 16.5 career sacks and 40.5 career tackles for loss. Allen was very disruptive for the Eagles and will continue to do so for the Colts. The team was smart to add Justin Houston this offseason and would do themselves a favor selecting Allen to complete the line. At pick 27, the Oakland Raiders used their 3rd selection of the 1st round to select Josh Jacobs, the running back from Alabama. Marshawn Lynch just retired and Doug Martin didn't pan out. Jacobs has limited tape from college, but the tape he does have shows why he should be the first back off the board. Jacobs has the blend of size, speed, and power that teams covet, and is a viable weapon in the pass game. The Los Angeles Chargers hold the 28th pick in the draft and select Noah Fant, the tight end from Iowa. Chargers fans may scoff at this pick, but Henry hasn't been healthy since entering the league, and Rivers loves throwing to the tight end. Right tackle could be the pick here with a few decent options available, but the Chargers are 1 player away from making their offense really hard to defend. Fant gives the Chargers the weapon they wanted when drafting Henry while offering a slightly different skill set that would allow him to see the field with Henry as well. Fant is used to sharing the stage and would add a fun and maybe more reliable weapon to the offense. With the 29th pick in the draft, the Seattle Seahawks used the selection acquired from the Kansas City Chiefs in the trade for Frank Clark to select Darnell Savage, the safety from Maryland. Savage is an all-around safety who should step in for the departed Earl Thomas. Savage accumulated 8 total interceptions and over 50 tackles in the 3 years he started for the Terps. With the 30th pick in the NFL draft, the Green Bay Packers used their selection acquired from the Saints in last year's trade to select Chris Lindstrom, the guard from Boston College. Protecting Rodgers must be a priority, especially with the nightmarish defensive lines of the Vikings and Bears. The Pack solidify their right guard spot and allow Rodgers to feel a little more at ease. With the 31st pick in the 2019 draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Nasir Adderley, the safety from Delaware. LaMarcus Joyner left a huge hole to fill in the back end of LA's defense. He was a movable piece that allowed Wade Phillips to remain creative with his scheme. Adderley steps in and immediately fills the hole left by Joyner. Adderley is a very high-level athlete, and although it may take some time to adjust to the level of competition, he shows the ability to develop into a Pro Bowl caliber player at the next level. With the final selection in the 1st round of the 2019 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Dalton Risner, the offensive tackle from Kansas State. The Patriots find value everywhere and seem to have no trouble filling the so-called voids left by free agent departures. In the interest of bolstering the line and continuing to protect the best quarterback to ever play the game, the Pats select Risner. That concludes my mock draft for the 1st round of the 2019 NFL Draft. Thank you everyone who tuned in, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you would like more content in the future. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. I would love to talk with you guys and debate about what you guys think about the upcoming draft and what you think about mock drafts that you've read. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.